Hello, dear listener, dear viewer. My name is Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe. I'm coming to you once again with another program of Mogobe's Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. As always, I try to bring you fresh, powerful content, one that makes a difference in your life, one that is impactful. And lately, I've been approached by a number of young entrepreneurs asking me to be their mentor, asking me what to do to get mentorship. So today I'm going to talk about establishing a relationship of mentee and mentor from the relationship of the mentee. So I'm going to give you top 10 nuggets of wisdom on how to secure and find a mentor. Number one, look for someone in the industry who you admire, someone whose values and whose outcomes you believe in. I'm sure there are a number of business persons out there, businessmen and businesswomen, who you believe in that you can identify. That's the first step. Identify such a person. Number two, study that individual, that person, that business person from a distance. Make sure that you read up as much as you can on that person. In this day of Google, in this day of YouTube and other forms of social media, it's very easy to find out a lot of content about an individual. Find out from newspaper articles that they may have written. Find out if they've written any books. Find out if they've posted anything on YouTube that might be of interest. Go back to the background of that individual, and if you find something positive, something useful, internalize and absorb that content. Number three, arrange to appoint to have a meeting with that potential mentor by offering them breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I find that offering them a meal is always a gateway to establishing the initial rapport. Yes, you have to pay for that meal. Yes, you have to make a few phone calls if necessary, leave a few messages, send a few emails, but by all means try and secure the attention of that potential mentor to get them to agree to meet somewhere. Preferably, if that person owns a restaurant, ask to meet them at that restaurant. If they own a lodge, ask them to meet them in their lodge. And if they own a shop, go to their shop. And if they just have an office, go to their office. Find a place which is convenient to them from which they are running their business, so that you can have a sense about how they run that business. That is the importance of choosing that right location. Number four, once you've secured that meeting, once he's agreed to have that meeting with you, at that meeting, find out from them what makes them tick. Find out what books they've read, what books have impacted their lives. Find out what podcasts they refer to, what content on social media they absorb, so that you find out basically what influences them, what makes them tick, what turns them on. Write down these books. If it's a list of books to be read, find out the most important books, the most impactful books in that mentor's life, so that you can internalize and read those books. Number five, that is the next step actually. Take the time out. Don't be in a hurry to set up another meeting. Rather, take time out in your private space to internalize and absorb and study the material that has been you've been referred to. If the mentor has a favorite seminar or has a favorite conference that they attend from time to time, see if you can't attend that conference or that seminar. And if a particular author has a lot of presence on social media, on YouTube, try and find out and familiarize yourself with that particular author that has influenced your potential mentor. Remember, your objective is to get into their mind space, to familiarize yourself with what is it that they are involved with on a day-to-day basis and how their mind works. Number six, offer to work or collaborate with that potential mentor for free. I repeat, offer to work or collaborate with that mentor for free. I can see a few frowns when I talk about that one, when I raise that one. People are normally reluctant to part with their time and their services for free. But I must tell you that there's nothing for mahala. There's nothing for free. and the entrepreneur will want to see that you've invested some skin in the game as well, that you are willing to forfeit something. You can't get something without giving something. You have to invest in the relationship. So offer to get into an arrangement for free. If you are good in graphics, offer to improve their website, for instance. If you are good on a particular issue, or maybe you are good when it comes to things having to do with running a restaurant, you're good with hospitality, offer to do some work at the entrepreneur's restaurant or the entrepreneur's hotel for free. One thing, it will expose you to the systems that have been set up by that entrepreneur. Another, you'll be near that entrepreneur so that you can learn from them as much as possible. And thirdly, you'll be able to see how he treats others around him, and that way you can learn. You can always learn more from such an experience. Number 7, from then on, when you have gotten into that space and you are familiar with what makes that entrepreneur tick, request regular meetings with the entrepreneur one-on-one. I suggest that you propose monthly meetings initially. One meeting of 30 minutes can do wonders for you in terms of getting to understand what happens in that entrepreneur's mind, and what sort of challenges that entrepreneur is dealing with. In fact, when you have that meeting, you are looking out to see how you can assist that entrepreneur so that they can be more than willing and able to give you more information and to empower you. So be willing. In my case, when I met my mentor, I was a lawyer at the time, and my mentor was in real estate. I was more than willing to do things for them, do legal work for them for free. In fact, at some point, I started writing off my bills because I wanted to establish a rapport, establish a relationship with that mentor. So that is a very important one. Please arrange those regular meetings. Number 8, recognize that the mentor has a role in your life. In other words, acknowledge the role of that mentor in your life. In other words, give positive feedback. Tell others, tell that mentor that you've made a difference in my life. Be open and be generous with your praise. I'm not saying you should flatter him, him or her, but you must be generous with your praise so that they can give you more morsels of wisdom or more nuggets of wisdom in their space. So do not be shy about doing that. Number 9, once you've decided that you want to follow the path of that entrepreneur, execute with aplomb, but with excellence in that field of economic endeavor. Resolve in your mind to be as good as you can be and be an expert in that field. Once the mentor sees you how good you are, there will be opportunities to collaborate even further. But it's very important that you embrace the spirit of excellence, the idea of being very, very good and being excellent at what you do. Once you've sourced wisdom and once you've sourced experience from that mentor, the best reward you can do is to be excellent, to be very, very good at what you do. Number 10, make sure that you cultivate the relationship for long term. No mentor wants to believe that you just came to upload information from them. Make it clear that this is a long-term, sustainable relationship. I've often had young mentees or potential mentees have one meeting with me and then they switch off. It's like they've got everything they wanted. If they want the relationship to be enduring and long-term and to be fully beneficial to them, they have to cultivate it for the long term. They have to cultivate it to even involve family members and to involve significant others so that the relationship develops roots that are sustainable, that stay over a long period of time. I read somewhere that a certain mentor wanted Thomas Edison to mentor them, and what they did is they just resolved in their minds to work full-time for Thomas Edison, and over a long period of time they partnered with Thomas Edison, and that was a long, enduring, and mutually beneficial relationship as a result. Let me give you number 11. This is a bonus. What to do to ensure that you cultivate an enduring, long-term relationship of a mentee, which is you, and a mentor. Number 11, the bonus. Be a sponge. What do I mean by be like a sponge? Absorb information like a sponge. Be teachable. Be open-minded. Be willing to experiment continually. Of course, this I mean within moral bounds that have been set for yourselves. Be willing to experiment. Be willing to expand your knowledge base by being continually engaged and being continually involved in that field of economic endeavor. So my bonus is that be like a sponge. Those are the top 10 nuggets of wisdom, dear listener, dear viewer, on how to cultivate a relationship with a mentee and a mentor with the objective of securing a mentor. That is it for today, dear listener and dear viewer. In future episodes, I will be giving you more morsels of wisdom, more nuggets of wisdom on this vast field of entrepreneurship, which will hopefully enrich you in continual ways. And please, if you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to subscribe and also to like what you're hearing. Thank you very much. Until next time, this is Mompoloki Lerumo Mogobe signing off.